All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Kakodash. Double honor to the apostles. It was a great millstone.
We live.
Are you live yet? Yeah. Go ahead and hit it.
All right, and shout out to you brothers doing this thing in sincerity and truth and with charity. Um, this is like a extra or a skillful adding to the live. The Bishop's live we did yesterday. Sunday, which was the 24th, I believe. Yeah, the 24th. And just some precepts and a point or two I want to make through the spirit. It'd be quite a few brothers here, so everything can't come out. And like y'all always say, if you got something extra, if you couldn't get it out, do a lesson on it. So I want to touch you. You see the title is Two Sets of Gentiles in the Bible. And that was explained, but it's some precepts and points I want to make. And I want to start with this. I want to start with, even though this is strangers that we finna touch on, it's the same concept. There's two, the word stranger also applies to Israelites, just like the word Gentiles can sometimes apply to Israelites. All right? So this Exodus 12 and 43. Yes. Hold on. I want to check something now. It took me all the way to the top. Exodus 12 and 43. And the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof. Period. All right, no stranger can eat it. But every man's servant that is bought for money, when thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof. So wait a minute. A servant can eat it? A hired servant? We also had Israelite servants. Because the next verse says, a foreigner and a hired servant shall not eat thereof. So it's simply called discernment. So you got to ask yourself, why does it say a servant can eat? Then it says a servant shall not eat. A foreigner should not eat. A stranger should not eat. Well, then a servant can do it if he's circumcised. Well, it's not saying that a heathen servant, a foreign servant, can now eat it because he's circumcised. No. This is about an Israelite servant. So let's get proof that Israel hired servants. This is Exodus 21 and 1. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. All right? So we had Israelite servants. Verse 7, and if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, she should not go out as the men servants do, meaning she stays with the house. All right? Let's see. It's another one, too. Let me see what this Deuteronomy is talking about. Yep, because the year of release. This is perfect. Verse Deuteronomy 15:12. And if thy brother, Hebrew man or Hebrew woman, be sold unto thee and serve thee 6 years, then in the 7th year thou shalt let him go free from thee. And when thou sendest him out free from thee, thou shalt not let him go away empty. Thou shalt furnish him liberally out of thy flock and out of thy floor and out of thy winepress, of that wherewith Yahweh thy power hath blessed thee, thou shalt give unto him. All right. It's another one. Damn. Bear with me. I want to read this. This Leviticus 24:16. And he that blasphemes the name of Yahweh, he shall surely be put to death, and all the congregation shall certainly stone him, as well as the stranger, as he that is born in the land. So a stranger simply means one not from this land, like one not born in this land. So an Israelite that's in another land is considered a stranger. He was born in another land, learned their customs, then came back home. He's still a stranger. He may be an Israelite, but he's a stranger. When he blasphemed the name of the Lord, he should be put to death. I'm going to prove that. And of course, it was also heathens around us. Yes, we had Philistines around us for one, so that's that. Bear with me, y'all. Hopefully I find it. Oh, over here tweaking. Man. Is it Judges? No, fuck. Well, let me grab this precept. I made that point. Let me prove it. This is Obadiah. And even reading through that, there was multiple times where it referred to Israel as strangers. When it mentioned the priesthood, it said the priest can do this or that, a stranger cannot. So we're referred to as strangers at times. This is Obadiah 1 and 11. And the day that thou stoodest on the other side, and the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother and the day that he became a stranger. All right? Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. I want to grab that word stranger in Obadiah. Right, it's the Strauss H5235 in the car. It says calamity, disaster, misfortune. Interesting. That's interesting. Let me look at it in the Exodus. Let me look at it in this one first. No stranger should eat. It's the same word. Oh, Nakar. It is the same word. Which it says foreign, alien, foreign is that which is foreign. It's interesting. Strange, I eat, and unhappy. Yeah, blue letter be going off sometimes. But it shows that strangers used for Israel as well. And clearly, when we going through misfortune, you know what happens to us? We end up in captivity a lot. We become strangers. So this is back in. Hold on. I'm gonna look at this one more time. That's interesting, bro. I'm gonna look at this one. How many times is this word used? And a strange punishment. Calamity. Age 5234. Not to know, ignorant, contemplating. So Exodus 12:43. The Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof. All right, so no actual foreigner. But every man's servant that is bought for money, when thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof. Talking about the Israelite servant. As we just read through that happens. A foreigner and a higher servant shall not eat thereof. Let's get this word for foreigner. Is it the same word? No. This is Dawashab, Strong's H8453. Sojourner, a stranger, foreigner. This is interesting. Let me look at this. 25, 20, 35. This is perfect. Leviticus 25 and 35. And if thy brother be waxing poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yet though he be a stranger or a sojourner, all right, though he may be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. Take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear thy power that thy brother may live with thee. So this is Israelite. Said Israelite, Jake, a Judite, end up in the land of Benjamin, poor. He's still a brother, he's still an Israelite, but he's a sojourner. He's not even in his own land with his own property. Because, Jake, we supposed to have our own. That's the whole thing of the year of Jubilee. If I sell a house to you or my land to you, I get it back, 50 years. It's still mine. You bought it for that period of time. But say Jake, for that reason, had to give her their land, whatever the fuck happened. He goes somewhere else. He's a sojourner, a traveler, it says, man, a stranger. But he's an Israelite. Thou shalt not give him thy money upon you. So like, thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. And we know we can, actual stranger, a heathen, we can charge usury. I am Yahweh your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your power. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxing poor and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant, but as an hired servant and as a sojourner. So he's, damn, this is perfect. So he's counted as a sojourner. He shall be with thee, he shall serve thee until the year of Jubilee. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his father shall he return. And that's what I was explaining. We will all have our own possession. If shit happens, however to work out when he fell on hard times, all right? He's counted as a sojourner. He's even called a stranger here, but he's an Israelite. But he's in somebody else's house. So he's sojourning there, man. He's a stranger. That ain't his. He became a hired servant, man. And that's what the Exodus 12 is saying right here. Exodus 12, 40. Let's start at 43 again. And the Lord said unto Moses, call on him, Bashim Yahshai. I needed to find that. And the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, this, even if I didn't know I needed it. This is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof. But every man's servant that is brought for money, when thou hast circumcised them, then shall he eat thereof. A foreigner and a hired servant shall not eat thereof. And one house shall it be eaten. Thou shalt not carry forth out of the flesh abroad out of the house, neither shall you break a bone thereof. And when a stranger shall sojourn with thee, and will keep the Passover to Yahweh, let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it, and he shall be as one that is born in the land, for no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. One law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the strangers that sojourn among thee. All right? So it makes it a clear understanding there's two types of strangers here. Two types of servants here. All right? Even if an Israelite come from afar, didn't know the customs, he can keep the Passover. He just has to circumcise himself. He's an Israelite anyway. Now, actual stranger, it says, shall not eat thereof. Getting circumcised don't make you an Israelite. It don't change your status from a foreigner to an actual Israelite. So it's not saying that. It's talking about an Israelite that's didn't have the customs, but he came and he's here. All right, now all he got to do is circumcise himself. Period. Let's get I want to touch on that. That even in this Exodus 12, it shows that there's two types of strangers. Verse 44 literally tells you. Verse 44 and 45 just it makes it so plain. They're just talking about two separate things, even though it's given the same title. All right, and that Leviticus we just read shows you that Israelite is called a sojourner. Did I look up the word for sojourner? It's gar. To abide, dwell in, dwell with, remain, inhabit, be a stranger. It's also just says stranger. To abide, stay temporarily. To seek hospitality with. Okay? So a Judite that's in the land of Benjamin staying with somebody, he's a stranger. He's a sojourner. He's staying there. All right? Temporarily. Damn, that was just hard. Not talking about an actual damn heathen, man. Oh yeah. Okay, now I want to get to the Gentile thing. So this is like my favorite topic, really, is proving the Gentiles what it means. I just want to get to what the word Gentile simply means. All right? The word Gentile simply means nation. All right? The word Gentile in Hebrew, all right, goy, that's Yiddish. That's what they say, goy or goyim. All right? It just means nation. So let's get this. Isaiah 11 and 10. And in that day there should be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. All right? Of course, the word for Gentile is, like I said, goy, or goyah, or goyim, and it just means nation. All right? Then it says usually of non-Hebrew people, and there's a reason for that. And then it says also of descendants of Abraham, of Israel. Then Goyim equals nations. All right? Now, the reason why it says usually non-Hebrew people, because we just categorize all the heathens as one. That's the nations. You got Israel, then you got the nations. Or another way to put it, you got the Israelites, and then you got everybody else. They don't need to be called Edom, Moab, etc. They just the Gentiles. All right? It's like this is like saying America and all the other nations, just to modernize it, you know. That's the mindset of America. It's America, then it's everybody else, the rest of the world. That's not the way of putting it. You got Israel, then the rest of the world. All right? But then also it says of Israel, because Israel is a nation. It just means nation. But the difference is, Israel is specified. We call by name. But let's keep going real quick. This is Exodus 11 and 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. So it's telling you right here who these Gentiles are that's being saved. The remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. So the Israelites that scattered, he shall set up an ensign for the nations. All right? Let's get this word for nations. Same word, because that's what Gentiles mean, nations. And shall assemble the outcasts of Israel. So it's telling you who it's talking about. The outcasts of Israel, the scattered, we just read about in verse 11. That's the Gentiles that's returning. And gathered together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So the outcast of Israel and the scattered Israelites and the scattered Judites. And the reason it's separated because we became two nations, so to say, man. Two kingdoms. The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. All right? In verse 13, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. So the two becoming one again. All right? But it's simply talking about the scattered Israelites. Now let's get to St. John 7. You know, it came out yesterday, but it goes right with that Isaiah 11. St. John 7:35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go? That we should not find him. We go unto the dispersed. Well, who did we just read about that's dispersed? The Judites. We go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles. They call the dispersed Israelites plain as day Gentiles right here. I'm going to grab another version, the CSB. Then the Jews said to one another, where does he intend to go that we won't find him? He doesn't intend to go to the Jewish people dispersed among the Greeks and teach the Greeks, does he? Here they called, in that translation, they called the scattered Israelites Greeks. But that was the kingdom that ruled before Rome, was Greece. And that's where we were at. And a lot of Jakes and took on Greek customs in the Maccabees. So it makes sense that it says that. Nevertheless, the dispersed are called these different things. All right, we're called we're called that. Look at us. We're in America. We're called Americans. Paul called himself a Roman. Now, it's just so happened that Paul knew he was an Israelite by blood. But think about all the Israelites that didn't know. So they will only call themselves Greeks. They didn't know they were Israelites yet. They thought they was just another nation or just another Gentile. They didn't know that they were the actual Israelites, the nation that matters. All right? So that's what it boils down to. It's Israel, then it's everybody else. And let's prove that further. This is the rest of Esther, or additions to Esther. All right? Now, depending if you're in a book of the app, it may not say chapter 1. You know, just go based off the verses. I'm scrolling down. This is the beginning of it. Yeah, I'm gonna start at the top and bounce around. Then Mordecai said, "The most I have done these things, for I remember a dream which I saw concerning these matters, and nothing thereof hath failed. A little fountain became a river, and there was light, and the sun, and much water. This river is Esther, whom the king married and made queen. And the two dragons are I and Ammon. And the nations were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews. And my nation is this Israel, which cried to the Most High and were saved. For the Lord hath saved his people, and the Lord hath delivered us from all those evils. And the Most High hath wrought signs and great wonders, which have not been done among the Gentiles. Therefore hath he made two lots. One for the people of God, and another for all those Gentiles." And that goes back to the phrase I was saying. It's Israel to everybody else. Israel and all the other nations, they lumped up. So you got Israel, you got the rest of the nations. That's just the nations. Don't even need to fucking specify them, because they're nothing. The word Gentile simply means nations. Modernize it. The American mindset. You got America, then you got the rest of the world. But America sits at top. That's us, Israel. We sit at top. Everybody else is just the rest of the nations, man. We are the nation. They the rest of the nations. We the nation. All right. This is Isaiah 40 and 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the Salakia, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are accounted to him less than nothing and vanity. That's the whole combination of the nations are nothing in the same word. Okay, they're nothing. They just everybody else. Israel is named, man. They the extras. Okay. Well, I might as well get the sister to it. The second Esdras. And 54. And after these, Adam also whom thou madest Lord over all thy creatures, of him come we all. And the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. As for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them, all of them together, unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. Okay? That's the two lots. Israel, then everybody else. Israel, then the rest of the nations. Israel is a nation, but we are the nation. They are the rest of the nations. Okay? This is Isaiah 43:1. But now thus saith Yahweh that created thee, O Jacob, he that formed thee, O Israel. Fear not, if I have redeemed thee, I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. We are specified. The Lord called us out. You know, he's like, no, look at all these nations. They nothing. This Israel. This nation, this is the nation. This is Israel. All right? So I was edifying, just want to really to simplify what the word Gentile means. It just means nation. So you got the nations, then you got the nation of Israel. All right? And once understanding that, it makes everything just plainer. Like the scriptures say, it's plain to them that understand. Gentile don't just mean non-Israelite, bro. No, Gentile means nation. The reason why we call these non-Israelites Gentiles because they just the other nations. They don't fucking matter. All right? So hopefully it's edifying. All praises, honor, glory to Yahweh B'Shem, Yahweh Shah, B'Shem Kakodash. Double honor to the apostles, the great millstone. And stop that you brothers do this thing in sincerity, truth, and with charity. Shalom, mama, Baba Ball.